Hello and welcome to The Next Big Thing. My name is Tumi Hlapo and this is the show where you will see talented rising stars for the very first time before they become the next big thing. On today's show, we talk films, fashion, music and more. We have a cocktail blend of young, talented individuals, including a designer who's making waves in the world of fashion. A new film will be hitting our big screens and we'll be talking to the Guy Ritchie of the film. And an illustrator will be in studio with a makeup artist and a very special performance by the Gospel Rhythms Choir. So make sure that you do stay tuned. Our first guest is taking the fashion industry by storm. From the catwalks of Paris Fashion Week to being a nominee at the Birmingham Clothes Show, Jenna Baxter is definitely going to be one of the major players in the fashion world. Hi Jenna, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's get straight into it. You had one of your pieces showcased at Paris Fashion Week last year. Could you tell us a bit more about that?
Yeah, basically I worked for couture designer Iris van Herpen last year in Amsterdam, and I was lucky enough that she asked me to do some designs for her.
Yep.
And they ended up in Paris Fashion Week last January.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I was able to see it backstage and see it go out on the catwalk, which was pretty special.
I can imagine. And on top of that, you were a nominee at the Birmingham Clothes Show. How did that come about? How did that work?
Basically every year we have to enter the competition as part of our briefs. This year it was about 25th birthday anniversary of Clothes Show Live.
Yep.
So we had to create a party girl dress. I kind of stayed away from the brief because I like to create my own individual style. Yeah.
You want to do your own Mustang.
But I still managed to get in, which was quite a surprise. So I went for this kind of fantasy character, and yeah, got in, and it was great because it was great press, and the whole day was really like a new experience. So that was
wow!
good.
So you're like really getting out there. You're actually like a step closer to being the next big thing. Maybe the next Vera Wang.
I'd like to think so. But
So what inspires you? Like, what inspires your look? How do you like basically come about to like creating all these designs?
I look a lot into art and a lot of artists, architecture. I don't really like looking into fashion because it kind of gets you focused on something that's already created instead of losing your mind on something different and something new. So I look a lot into art and design. I came from a fine art background, so that's kind of where I start off.
Wow, really interesting. And what would you say is like the must-have item for this season?
I've kind of stayed away from trends for the last month or so doing my collection, trying to think of my own path, but I know a lot of pastels and metallics are in at the moment.
Definitely. You just mentioned something about, focusing on your collections. Now that you've, already sort of made it big, you're like a step closer to becoming the next big thing. Is there anything else we can expect from you, anytime soon? Any plans or projects that you're working on at the moment?
I have actually applied and I'm looking into working into China at the moment, doing a placement out there. I am currently collaborating with a designer, which I'm not allowed to say because it's still in early stages.
Yep.
And to be honest, I'm quite open to doing whatever comes my way. And I would quite like to branch into maybe menswear or accessory design just to see where that takes me.
All right.
I don't want to just focus into women's wear, yeah.
All right.
So that's probably where I'd see myself.
All right, Jenna, so now it's time for us to, to see your amazing work and see a bit of what you've got, yeah?
Yep, okay, so basically my inspiration came from vintage cars and the kind of high shine, the curves, the hard material. It's very industrial looking. Here you can see it's quite a futuristic look. I came up with this character, almost like a villain from a sci-fi film. And it's all about function. So here at the arms, the sleeves open with zips and it changes the silhouette of the garment.
Oh, nice. Just spread your wings. That looks really nice. Yep. And let's see the next piece. You've got more to show us,
Yep,
yeah?
the next look is has come from details of a car in terms of fender vents on the side, and that's kind of the inspiration for the shoulders, the shoulder detail. Kind of had that breathable aspect of the garment. It's also been, the fabric's been manipulated through vacuum forming, which is the technology that the university has supplied, and it's all about changing and manipulating the fabric to kind of create this futuristic look.
Wow, that's really nice. So you're into cars, you're into fashion, you've got everything on lockdown, eh?
Yeah, it's all about technology, this collection, really.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's check out the next look as well. All
This
these ladies are
next
looking
look-
so beautiful, eh?
Thank you. This next is it's all about digital print. Another kind of technology that I wanted to use, and I've used a lot. I love print, so I had to use it in this collection.
Yeah.
And this is kind of just creating this kind of destructive look, kind of very hard edges, and just to kind of give off that enemy character even more.
Oh wow, really nice. Jenna, thank you so much for joining us today and bringing us all of your beautiful garments. Who knows, maybe one day I'll be strutting my stuff at London Fashion Week in one of your gowns.
Thank you.
Thank you so much and all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Our next guest, Stuart Blake, is an illustrator that has made a pop-up book for kids with a twist. We're going to be chatting to Stuart about his illustrations and test my skills at drawing. Or maybe I should just stick to presenting. Who knows? Check it out. Hi Stuart, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello.
Thank you so much for joining me today. All right, so we're going to be chatting a bit more about, you know, your illustrations and your pop-up book with a twist.
Okay, let's see.
So let's go. Let's start about, you know, your illustrations. Tell me a bit more about your illustrations.
Okay, well,
how it all started and where you intend on, you know, going.
Okay, well, basically, I've been drawn as far as I can remember, from like knee-high, literally all the time, and I've always drawn like creatures and characters, fantasy, beasts and such as. So that's where my strengths lie now.
Yeah.
And I've always made stories up that go along with these creatures as well, to try and make a kind of a universe for them, try and make it a little bit more believable. I think if you're trying to draw something and there's no story behind it, there's no character about it, it's hard to make them more believable. So literally try and build it up, the creatures.
Oh wow, interesting. And now you've made a pop-up book for kids, right? But it's almost like a scary one because it's all about monsters and creatures and all these things that just come out of nowhere. How, like, why did you choose like that specific, you know, narrative, that genre? I mean, especially for kids.
Well, like I say, I've always specialised in those kind of stories. That's what interested me, even from a child.
Yeah.
And if it interests me, obviously there's going to be other people who are like-minded. And I think children like characters and scary things, creatures, whether it be like Roald Dahl, for example, with their kind of like stories, kind of like with morals, but there's always a twist within it. R.L. Stein with Goosebumps, such as, like, I think children are appealed to that. They like to be scared. They may cry, and there might be tend that they're a little bit iffy with it, but they do enjoy that kind of stuff. They do like those kind of narratives, and it's what draws them in.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's so interesting that you've like mentioned quite a few books that I also used to read. I mean, I used to love Roald Dahl books and like the Goosebumps books. When you read and you get to like the end of a chapter, and it's like, if you want to see what's going on, turn to page. That was really, really cool and interesting. So, do you want to show me like your book so we can just have a quick look at it?
Absolutely. Yep. So here it is. The book I made called The Scavengers. I tried to make it oversized as well, just to try and make it more appealing.
Yeah.
Obviously, with the world going digital now, obviously there's a lot of tablets, a lot of kinds of stuff done online. So I tried to make this book completely from scratch, draw it by hand, colour it by hand, literally cut the cardboard. It's just a physically handmade book, all the text done by hand as well.
And how long did it take for you to actually make this book?
It took
put
about,
everything together?
About 8 weeks. 8 weeks in total, from coming up with the initial idea, sketching it, inking it up, colouring it, designing all the different flaps, all the different layers to the book.
I'm actually just going to bring it up a little bit so people can see how it looks. This looks like the great big book of everything, but like in a cool little story form, you know? And so you said your story's also got a twist to it. What is the twist of the story?
Well, basically, with the story, there's a little creature that comes out the wall and it is mischievous. His mother, the little boy in this narrative, his mother tells him to clean his room, just be a generally good boy because he's a bit of a bad boy.
Yeah.
And he refuses to clean his room. He'd rather mess around and play around.
Wow.
And unfortunately for him, a little creature comes out of the wall and starts to pinch all his little bits and pieces. But by the end of the story, he's actually made to be the king of the scavengers. So rather than
the king of the monsters.
Yeah, the king of the monsters.
Oh wow!
So
And look
taken
at that.
to a different realm.
And his little victory. That is actually so cool. So what are your plans in terms of like your illustrations? Like what do you plan on doing? Do you plan on making more books? Do you plan on getting this published? Do you plan on maybe doing some animation for films or something?
Yeah, well, I'd like to carry on just doing character design, trying to build up upon this. Obviously, because I have been writing my own stories and trying to illustrate them. My next thing is to try and get one actually physically published. Try and get it out there, just try and get it into the wider world.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to focus on that. And carry on with the animation side of things. Rather than having the images just like this, I can try and animate them as well. So maybe do a digital book as well with the same process.
Oh, who knows? You can have like your own cartoons, like
absolutely.
the little Popeye, the Sailor Man, anything, something, you know, in visual form. That would be really great. Okay, so now you're going to be teaching me how to draw, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Do you think I've got what it takes?
We shall soon see. We'll soon see.
All right, so I'm just going to quickly close this book here, and then you're going to go over there, and I'll just put the book here, and I'll move over, get myself sorted out. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay, so what are we going to be making?
Basically, we're going to try and draw a creature. We're going to try and draw something a little bit different.
Okay.
Okay, so
let me just bring this closer so I can
okay.
actually be able to draw. Sorted. Okay, we're drawing a creature.
Yeah, we'll draw a creature. We'll make it up as we go along. Sometimes that's the best way. Don't have something too set in your mind. Just let your hand decide.
Okay, so let's go.
So basically, what I would always tend to do is I would try and draw just a simple shape for a head.
Okay.
So we'll try and draw just a shape and then block it in. So roughly where the eyes, where the nose, and where the mouth would roughly go.
Okay, so we're going to show everybody like yours first.
Oh, okay.
So that they see what it's supposed to look like, just in case mine doesn't look right. Okay.
And then, literally, like a jigsaw, just keep building it up there bit by bit. So we'll start putting like little details on perhaps for the nose next. I tend to always do the nose next. I sometimes think that's the best procedure. Literally. And then carry on doing the eyes.
My nose looks so dodgy already.
That's good. It's going to be a fantasy creature anyway, so it might add to the character.
Okay.
Let's see. So get the eyes blocked in.
Oh my.
Just try and make it look a little bit different.
My eyes are too close together.
Just keep going with that.
Okay.
Are you keeping up? You're keeping up?
Yeah, I'm still doing my eyes.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, and then we'll just carry on like adding detail. So just think about random faces, what makes up a face. Is put all the creases, the crinkles, just anything.
Oh my.
That's what I would try and do.
Mine looks like somebody with a really, really big head.
But it's certainly looking like a monster. It's certainly looking like a monster. And then perhaps, I don't know, add some hair on it.
Okay. The hair part shouldn't be too hard, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's all about the weave. Just add a weave to the picture.
Let's see. And perhaps from here, we can try and get the mouth done as well.
Okay.
So, just try and do some kind of mouth here.
All right.
And maybe some kind of protrusion from the head there. It'll make it look like it's got horns on its head or something.
Oh my. I don't know how I feel about this.
Oh. So it's got something coming up.
So like so you started drawing at like a very young age. Did you start like when you, Like, did you start all the way from the bottom, like everybody else, drawing stick figures and
Yes,
stuff?
absolutely. Stick papers, squiggles, literally just circles, just absolutely anything, the most simplest shapes. And eventually, with practice, it makes perfect.
And then in terms of your story, like, so what comes first? Is it the story that comes first, or do you think of like the characters and then put a story?
Most times I try and think of a story, and then I'll try and build the characters around the story, because like I say, it's hard to design a character if you don't really have a story. It actually makes a character if you know where they're going. You can give them the appearance based on the story, you see. That's it, like that.
Oh, yours has got teeth.
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Yours has got a nice pout on it. Yours has got a nice pout going.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me colour it in quickly. Okay. So, are you ready to reveal the picture? Okay.
So let's see.
So let's see yours first. I'm giving mine a fringe. Okay. Yours looks mine just looks like Humpty Dumpty with false lashes and pink lipstick.
It's
red
looking
lipstick.
good. It's looking good.
So that's mine.
It's
over
looking
there.
good.
Can you see it?
It's a feminized version of this one, perhaps a boyfriend and
Definitely,
girlfriend. Maybe that's another
yeah.
story in itself.
Superman and Superwoman. Thank you so much for joining us, and I wish you all the best for all your future endeavors. Still coming up on the show is a sci-fi that will be released this June. Not forgetting a very special performance from the Gospel Rhythms Choir. So make sure that you stay tuned all the way to the end of the show, because you don't want to miss out on what's still to come. Ladies, this next guest is for you. This lady is responsible for making me look so good today. She even managed to cover all my blemishes and she made me glow. So let's have a look at Miss Susie in action. Hi Susie, how are you? Thank you so much for joining us.
I'm
on the
great,
show
thank
today.
you. Thank
Our
you for having me on
models
the
looked
show.
really good, thanks to you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's get straight into it. Tell me, makeup. How and where did it all start?
So it all just started really by, I used to watch a lot of videos on YouTube of like makeup tutorials, and that just really inspired me to get into it myself and teach myself, and then eventually ended up working on makeup counters and department stores, and I've been doing that for a while, and I gained a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge from that. And now I'm just setting up as a freelance makeup artist myself. So.
All right. And what influences like the different makeup looks that you go for?
I'm really inspired by like a lot of Arabic makeup looks and a lot of like Indian makeup looks. That's typically what really inspires me. Like the really flawless skin, like the strong eye looks, like bold lips. Love that, you know, biased.
All right. And what do you think is like one of the like a must-have item, like any product or item that every woman should have in at least their handbags or in their makeup bags or at home?
I think really like the must-have item or items really is just a good skincare routine, like a good cleanser and a good moisturiser, because great makeup always starts with great skin, and it's so imperative to prepare your skin and take off all your makeup, which a lot of people don't do. Like a lot of people use face wipes and things, and it's just really important to have that, I think.
Do you know, if it was me, can I tell you what I would have said? Eyeliner. You can't go without eyeliner.
That's very
ladies.
true. It's hard to choose just one, but
yeah, I think personally, I think eyeliner definitely.
yeah.
And so, what are your future plans? I know you're obviously trying to build up your brand. You're doing a bit of freelancing. Where to from here?
Like I'd really like to build up my brand on social media. So like I really want to try and run a successful YouTube channel and just really get my name out there and just build up my portfolio. And then I'd also like to maybe progress within the brand that I work in. But ultimately, like if I were to sort of combine what I've done in my degree as well, I'd like to do something maybe on TV, like be in front of the camera, do like live demonstrations, that kind of thing. I would love that.
I think you should do like a whole lot of videos as well. We sort of like showcase you, throw me in the mix, I'll be a model.
Yeah, get you out there.
No, I'm just messing about. But thank you so much for joining us on
Thank
the
you for
show
having
today.
me.
I wish you all the best with your makeup looks, and hopefully you will be doing my makeup one day in the near
Well,
future.
you never know.
Thank you,
Thank
Susie.
you for having me.
There is so much talent on the show, and there is still more to come. If you're watching the show and you think you are the next big thing, tweet us at iCov_connect with the hashtag iCovTBN. Check out our Facebook page as well, which is iCov Connect, and see what we get up to behind the scenes on Instagram at iCov_connect. It's time for us to take it to the movies. Film director and editor Dale Driver has created a sci-fi film that will be released this summer. Check it out.
96 minutes. I've gone over the events, but nothing changes. Why should I have to die? He should suffer. Could I live with myself? I could learn to live with myself. I can learn to live.
Dale is in studio with us today to chat about his film. Hi Dale, how are you?
I'm excellent, thank you. How are you?
I'm alright, thanks for asking. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Could you please tell us a bit more about your film, Citizen?
Okay, so Citizen is a science fiction short film. It's about two astronauts who have a terrible relationship, but they have to learn how to work together to solve a problem that happens midway through their routine mission. It's a social commentary really on how people deal within confined environments with each other.
Yep. And what inspired you to do this sort of genre and narrative as well?
Well, genre is because it is my favourite genre. Star Wars was the first film I ever saw and one of my favourite films as well.
Oh, nice.
Aliens is actually my favourite film. But the story was inspired by a documentary by Louis Theroux actually I watched. It's called Miami Mega Prison, and it was about people living in close confinement and how they deal with each other, and that was where the story came from.
Oh wow, really interesting. And like when will the movie be, released?
Well, I'll be releasing it, putting it out to film festivals through the summer. So hopefully, as of June, July, August time, it'll start going into festivals. It'll also be at the Coventry Degree Show though, which is on May 30th, and it'll be available for anyone to watch there.
Is there anybody else would want to watch the film?
Not immediately, but hopefully, once it's done its festival run, then I will make it available online for everybody to watch.
And then in terms of your characters, you've got like quite a few big names that are actually, cast in your film. How did you manage to get all these people to do the job? Like, what was the process?
A bit of wheeling and dealing and lying, I think, really. I had some clout with my company's name as well. We'd done some quite big shorts in the past. So there was a certain, I never advertised it as a student film, so to speak, even though it is a student film.
Yeah.
Because it scares off some actors sometimes. So I kept to that. And also, as the cameras can probably tell, I'm a mature student as well. So that sort of lended a bit of weight to it, as in when they met me, they realised that there is a bad stigma for some student films, so they didn't have any of that, and they auditioned to me. I didn't go searching for them.
Oh wow, really interesting. And then on your blog you say that this isn't my first or last film, however it is important.
My most important.
Yes, your most important. Could you please elaborate a bit on what you meant by that?
Well, I mean, the first part is obvious. It's not my first, and I don't want it to be my last.
Definitely.
But the most important is it's the one where I feel like I've turned a corner. Before, I'd always think about the logistics of the shoot, saying I can't afford to do that, let's keep it simple. And this one, I just dreamed big, and I thought, I'm going to go for it. And I spent all my money trying to do it, but it gave me a point of realisation where I thought, if I want to make the stories I want to make, I've got to just go for it and do everything. So it's inspired me now to not stifle my stories, basically.
Definitely. And is there anything else we can expect from you? Are you working on anything at the minute?
Well, I'm developing about 2 or 3 different scripts at the moment, which I'm just going through in the process. I'm also an editor on a feature film, which
Yeah.
is coming out in August time as well.
Oh wow, really interesting. Okay, so now we're gonna, switch it up a bit. We're gonna play a game with you,
Okay.
just to test your creative juices. You know what I mean?
Oh
See if
God,
you're
I'm
on
gonna
point with
embarrass
the
myself here now.
See if you're on point with the creativity. It's really simple. So basically, this is how the game's gonna go. I'm gonna start give you maybe a sentence from
Okay.
a story, and you just have to pick up from there. And you've got 30 seconds to complete the story. Do you think you can do that?
Probably not, but let's just go for it
Come
anyway.
on, I think you can do it. Okay, so the first one is Stacey was walking down the road and stares up into the sky. She's fixated on what she sees.
Okay, I feel like these questions are set up for me to talk about science fiction things here, because in my mind the first thing that comes in is an Independence Day sort of situation. So she's seeing some sort of alien invasion coming above, and she's panicking about the situation, and then there's mass panic through the streets, everyone's running past her, but she's fixated because there's a bright blue light there, and I don't know where else I'm going with this story, that you kind of know those. Independence Day, let's just say this or that.
That was quite cool, actually. You managed to do it. Okay, next scenario. Simon finds himself stuck in a lift with his teacher. Suddenly, he starts to cough violently, and green ectoplasm starts to spill from his mouth.
Right, when you say ectoplasm, I'm going to go down a Ghostbusters route there, I think.
Okay.
So there's a ghost that is coming out of him during the ectoplasm, and that ghost has been living under him like a parasite or something.
Okay.
And then who was it? The teacher or the?
The boy in the lift, Simon.
No, but the ectoplasm came out of the teacher or the boy?
The boy, from the boy.
Okay, so the ghost is going after the teacher, and now it's turned into a horror film, and I don't really know where this is going on.
That was really interesting. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today, and thank you for, showing off your little creative juices, which is really interesting. Wish you all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thanks for having me.
Gospel Rhythms has been together officially for 5 years now. In those 5 years, they have managed to accomplish more than a fair share of achievements. Let's have a look at how the choir prepares and rehearses for big competitions, such as the Choir of the Year contest that took place earlier this year. Right now, I'm joined by Steph and Meji from the Gospel Rhythms Choir, who'll be chatting to us a bit more about the choir. Hi guys, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. So can you guys tell me a bit more about the choir and how, it sort of came together, how it started and how it formed?
Well, Gospel Rhythms is a uni choir in Coventry that started about 5 years ago. So as the years have gone on, it's been passed down from different leaders. That's pretty much how it started.
Wow, really nice. And when did you first join the choir?
I started the choir 2 years ago, and honestly, it's been a great experience. It's a family of worshippers. We just come together, enjoy God's presence, enjoy each other's company as well. I don't feel for me personally, I don't feel like anyone's left out. We're just together. It's actually great.
I know, I must say, I've seen you guys. I've been to your rehearsals and all of that. And I also felt I was at home. I actually wanted to sing. I thought I could sing. I wanted to join the choir. And I was like, nope, check your balance. Don't take it that far.
We would have still welcomed you though.
I know, thank you. So how do you guys choose the kind of songs that you're going to sing for competitions and all of that stuff?
Definitely our leader, David Amoa, currently, he's very into the spiritual side, which includes praying, making sure that we check with God kind of thing, and making sure that these are songs that we know will touch other people. And obviously, if people have different ideas and stuff, we always welcome ideas. Just making sure we have a message every time we use our gifts and talents.
Mm-hmm. And you guys say that it's obviously a uni group.
Yeah.
I know you guys are in your final year now. So what happens when you guys leave? Because a lot of you guys, everybody's based all over the place. There are people from London, there are people from Birmingham. What happens after you graduate?
We also have UGCY. Oh, sorry, not UGCY. Gospel Rhythms London. Sorry. So that's where every third year that's left, they come together and they still sing, and they have different ministrations in different churches, so that we just feel like we keep in contact and not just leave and then that's it.
Yeah.
So definitely that's really good.
All right, and I know you guys have been, obviously invited, by like a lot of big TV channels and TV shows, like, ITV, the BBC has approached you. Have you guys actually accepted any of these invitations?
Yeah, we definitely have. We've done radio before. We've done films as well. So like it's a big thing for us, because we're not just like this small like gospel choir in uni, but we're actually being accepted outside of uni as well. So it's a big like opportunity for us.
I can imagine. You guys went to like the choir competition this year.
That was amazing.
Were second place the other year. Like, you guys are just doing so many great things, and that's why we have you here. And so how's the future of the group looking? Like, do you have any plans for the future of the group? Are there any other competitions that you're planning on entering or joining? Maybe something bigger like X Factor, or I don't know, Britain's Got Talent, anything like that in store for you guys?
To be honest, we'll leave that to the new leaders and see what they decide. But we'll definitely be going for UGCY again.
Yeah, definitely.
Go for that, and then wherever we get invited, we'll definitely take it into consideration and hopefully go forward with it.
Yeah. And, for anybody that's watching right now that may want to get involved, in the choir, because, I found out a bit late. Not that I can sing or anything, but I would love to join, So how would one go about actually joining the choir and becoming part of this movement?
So we have a Facebook group called CU Gospel Rhythms. We definitely are trying to promote more within our university, making sure that we're working with like the student body, making sure that everyone is aware that there is somewhere where we can sing and worship God and use our gifts and talents, whatever it may be. So yeah, for now that's really what we're doing. But next year will be bigger things and bigger ways to get people involved. So
yeah, definitely. I can actually see this group going very, very far. And the leader, let me tell you, the leader of the group is like the Kirk Franklin of the group. Definitely. Literally, he's like the great Kirk Franklin of the group. But this group is really going far. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
But you know what? We have reached the end of the show, and it is time for us to say goodbye. But because the show is the next big thing, we are obviously going to play out with a huge bang. The choir will be performing a very special song for us. What are you guys going to be performing?
It's an original song that was written by our leader, David, and it was the beginning part of what we sang at the University Gospel Choir competition this year, so yeah.
What, so you guys write songs as well?
Definitely.
Yeah, everyone writes songs.
They are definitely the next big thing. But from me, it's time for me to say goodbye. Make sure that you do join us again next time, right here on iCov TV, where we will be bringing you the next big thing. And also, don't forget to join our Facebook page, which is iCov Connect, and also follow us on Twitter at iCov_Connect and use the hashtag iCovTBN. You can also check out what we get up to on Instagram, see how we put the show together, check out everybody messing about behind the scenes on Instagram, which is at iCov_Connect. From me, see you guys next time. Bye.
Deliverer, restorer, redeemer, oh Father, defender, provider, oh Savior, maker, lover, He is my help.